Hello once again, YouTube friends, to the penultimate day of farming for our 100-week mini-series challenge. The goal is to earn roughly 20 exalts a day and get about 100 exalts at the end of the Monday through Friday week. Today is Thursday. It's almost Friday. Very close to midnight this time. And we are exhausted. We farmed very much today. And here are the profits. Today will be extra short and sweet. I'll try to get all the detail in there that I can, but we have a big day of celebration and farming tomorrow on stream on twitch.tv/subtractum. Also, thank you to everyone that's been subscribing and enjoying this series. The love that everyone's been showing for this series has been very encouraging, and I really enjoy reading all your comments, and I will try to address many of the things that people have brought up in the comments the past few days, perhaps tomorrow night. Tonight is just going to be a very short and sweet summary. So let's get right into it. So the strategy today was to go down to Valdo's Rest, Syndicate, and Blight, and just make as much currency as we can by selling the results of running Katarina with good Syndicate encounters, primarily a tier 4 Ashling, which means she is level 3. She does not have to be the captain, just level 3 when you kill Katarina, and then that will allow you to do an Ashling Slam, which removes a modifier and adds a Veiled modifier to an item on the Forbidden Trove Discord server that currently sells for 4 exalts, and we did 4 of those today. We got 16 exalts just from that. In addition to that, we ran maps with sometimes rusted, sometimes polished, and sometimes gilded scarabs. I did buy some gilded scarabs for 1 exalt, so that is showing in the spreadsheet, but we didn't use all of them. So actually, it was less than that. I just used scarabs I had lying around. So it was doing blighted encounters, hoping we get blighted maps, get some nice oils. Those can sell very nicely. For the watchstones, I used 4 exotic watchstones here. I bought them for 4 times 0.8 exalts, 3.2, and they absolutely paid for themselves. I highly recommend using exotic watchstones if you really want to focus on getting blighted maps. It's even going to be better in Lyra Thane because of epidemiology. You just get 100% more blighted maps. That's going to be more profitable. But honestly, as an additional strategy in Valdo's Rest to supplement your Syndicate, it actually worked out really well. So I'm happy with the way that we approached the strategy. I didn't want to do anything with Harbies. I definitely didn't want to do Metamorph anything, and it worked out really well. For the Uncharted Realms, we kept the points exactly the same as yesterday. Although yesterday I did play with Neural Pathways a little bit. We just did the normal, Secrets of the Stone, Close Allies. This helps us sustain our Syndicate missions a little bit. Remnants of the Past, because the Elder and Shaper Guardian maps sell very, very well. This is a wonderful source of profit. And Adept Tracker, Thaumaturgical Awakening, and Atlas Awakened. For the way that we configured our Atlas, as always, type tier 14, pull out 2 stones from the other corners, pull out 1 stone from the inner regions, and make sure that tier 14 maps are the only ones that show on your Atlas in the one region that you care about. And then what I favorited was 2 waste pools and 1 underground sea. The reason why we do this is for blighted encounters, you are guaranteed for at least one of the paths for blight. It has to be blighted pustules for the blight map and oil rewards. And so if you only have 1 or 2 lanes, it's going to get consolidated, and you can get up to 5 or even 7 lucky chests, which means it rolls twice for even better rewards in that 1 lane. And so you have a much, much better chance of getting those blighted maps, and we got really good returns because of that. So what we got in raw currency was 17 exalts. We had 16. I did exchange a couple for chaos, but we got 16 exalts from selling 4 ashlings, and then a bunch of raw chaos in addition to that. For the blighted maps, we had 20 blighted maps. I actually underestimated. I said I would sell them at 35 chaos for bulk. We can probably command a higher price because we're going to have so many blighted maps at the end of this experiment. But I put it down to 35 chaos in bulk. We got 20 blighted maps. That's about 4.2 exalts at the current price of 165 chaos per exalt. In terms of the logbooks, we did get a Knights of the Sun, a double Knights of the Sun, eye level 85 logbook. This will be at least 90 chaos. We can probably split this and sell it for 180 chaos, 2 of them. We got another Knights of the Sun, also very good, eye level 85. And then we got a Black Scythe Mercenaries eye level 85. So absolutely bonkers. These are worth at least 1.5 exalts. Honestly, this might be closer to 2.5. But as always, I am keeping the numbers as low as possible to be incredibly conservative. The essences, they add up to 0.3 exalts. These scarabs, 3.3 exalts. cards, 0.3 exalts. That's because we got 2 patients today. Stacked decks, 0.2 exalts. We have 28 stacked decks. All of the oils add up to about 1 exalt. You know, we can upgrade them and just sell opalescence, black, and silver oils. Maps, I am just adding up the special maps. We got 3 Elder Guardian maps and 5 Shaper Guardian maps. That's roughly 1 exalt. In terms of gems, we did get an Awakened Void Manipulation from Cirrus and a level 2120 Exsanguinate, which goes for about 120 Chaos. We got that from actually a Blighted chest. Who knew? Actually really, really good. And in addition to that, for invitations, we did get a Twisted, 2 Twisteds, and a Formed. And those sell very, very well. Each one of those sells for about 50 Chaos, which 150 Chaos is about 0.9 exalts right now. So the gross profits are 31.7 exalts, and I am rounding way down. So all of these maps here that you see, I am not counting any of them. Any of these div cards that you see here, I am not counting any of those. I'm not counting contracts. I'm not counting fossils, nothing like that. I am keeping this as conservative as possible. So honestly, if you cared about selling all this, we could probably get way more. But I don't want to spend effort selling things that I don't care about. We just want to min-max our ability to sell things and get back to farming or upgrading our character and having fun playing the game. Now, in terms of investment, this time, sorry about yesterday. Yesterday I used Mature Watchstones. I already had 2, and I borrowed 2 from my friend. My argument there was that, A of all, they were borrowing. This is the profits that I'm realizing myself. But also, I do realize that, if you want to jumpstart a strategy, you will have to make that investment. The thing about Mature Watchstones especially, it's a very static price. This is a thing that I did last league for Valdo's for Auspicious Watchstones and Ladens, is you can just buy them for like the set price, and you can sell it for sometimes even more than you bought it for a few days later. It's a very dynamic market. Even in today's, sleepy economy in 3.15, they go very, very quickly. So you can buy 4 matures, run the strategy for 3 days, and sell them back 3 days later for basically the same price, and perhaps you might get lucky and make a profit. So I didn't count that in my investment yesterday. Sorry about that. If you do want to jumpstart this strategy, I did invest 4.2 exalts, but honestly, I might just sell those Watchstones and get 3.2 exalts back. So, not even a sunk cost, right? It's not consumable. We can get that money back. Gilded Blighted Scarabs, I did spend 1 exalt on them, but we didn't even use them all. So that was pretty cool. And what that means is, at the end of the day, we did get 27.5 exalts of profit. Now, in terms of time, I'm going to estimate that we farmed for about 7 hours. It was a 10-hour stream. I did spend a fair amount of time looking at POBs, talking, etc. It's not super efficient farming, but I'm going to say at least 70% of the time I was farming pretty intently. So I'm going to say that. About 7 hours of farming for 27.5 exalts, 3.9 exalts an hour. That is by far our most successful strategy so far. So 3.9 exalts an hour, you do have to invest a little bit more to do it. It does take a little bit more effort. It's a little annoying selling things on TFT, but the results speak for themselves. And honestly, this was actually still a more relaxed strategy than doing the Legion. I love Legions. It is easy to just kill a bunch of monsters. But in terms of like the stress, at least, it's very minor stress, right? But you do have to put effort into making sure you pop all the monsters. The Mariketh mobs especially are very, very rippy. The Timeless Templar boss, honestly, I find him really annoying. Cardinal Vox goes invincible, and he does a bunch of on-death effects. He does like lightning effects and everything. Super, super obnoxious to kill. So this was really easy. Just speed farm, Waste Pool, and Underground Sea, and do your Syndicate encounters. If you know how Betrayal works, it's spectacular. If you don't know how Betrayal works, definitely check out the video up there. I have done a very, very extensive guide. It's an hour and a half long. I go into everything, including how to even do the Katarina fight. I highly, highly recommend that if you want to learn how to do this. Honestly, I probably could have pushed the profits significantly higher. I was talking with chat, all of that, very inefficiently. We actually got really unlucky getting tier 3 Ashling in the safe house twice. So 2 out of the 4 times, it was actually very inefficient for getting Ashling in there, and we still made very, very good profits. So incredibly happy with today. Not too excited about realizing these profits. That's the other downside, is with any farming strategy, you do have to sell things. You have to sell them to make the money. So we have to wait till the actual profits show up. But it was a good time. I had a ton of fun. And seeing all those exalts in the stash and having some currency does feel pretty good. Whew, so just a little bit after midnight, A little bit worse than yesterday, a little bit better than the day before. You take what you can get, you know. We have 1 day left. This whole mini series and everything has been exhausting, but it's been a really good experiment. I've enjoyed seeing what different strategies can do in 3.15 and how it feels like. Honestly, it's a little bit reassuring that there are plenty of ways that we can still make currency. You can still choose your own adventure and have fun making money playing the game, killing monsters, not high stress, not doing Nemesis 3, not doing big boy crafting or anything like that. So what I'm thinking tomorrow is, you know, one of my favorite things to do in this game is it's boss killing. And I know that loot from bosses, it is very variable. I'm not going to recommend this as a reliable farming strategy. It's a special thing to do. You have to make sure you like enjoying bosses. You're able to make it through all of the ups and the downs, especially the downs, because sometimes the loot is not very good. So tomorrow is just kind of a wild card. We're going to see how it goes, perhaps even dip into synthesized maps and kind of press our luck. Why not? It's the last day of this mini series of the strategy, and maybe let's do something a little bit wacky, and perhaps we're going to fall extremely short, but maybe we hit something absolutely bonkers and boom, there we go. Instead of just 5 days of pure, reliable, known strategies, let's throw a wild card in there, and maybe there's just something out of control that, you know, maybe appeals to you when you don't need to make the currency during that strategy. So anyway, thank you everybody for enjoying this series so far. There's one more day of it. I am looking forward to finishing it and getting some rest. It's been an absolutely crazy week, especially the streams have been popping off. You guys, the support and everything has been incredible. I love the way that this community has been growing. You guys are so special, and I am very happy to see where we go in the future. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Goodbye.